What if you can improve the campus job placement of your students? What if you can attract more companies for campus recruitment by offering skilled manpower? What if you can provide suitable employment opportunities to graduates by connecting with the right recruiters? What if you can help affiliated colleges with your university and overcoming the challenges faced in managing the internship and campus job recruitment process? Seems like a dream? No, it's not. Presenting you with revolutionary Seagull, a centralized artificial intelligence-powered internship and job portal to facilitate the seamless discovery of the right career choices, including career paths, internships, jobs, and right skills. Seagull is a job and career discovery platform that brings students, career aspirants, industry, skill providers, universities, and colleges together on a single cloud platform aimed at reducing challenges in the job and talent discovery process. Some key advantages of Seagull to students, recruiters, colleges and universities. First, single AI-powered career discovery platform for students for finding internships, jobs opportunities, and job assessment preparation. Second, single integrated talent discovery platform with job and internship posting, campus recruitment, AI-proctored job assessment system and online interview tool for recruiters. This will help recruiters skip juggling among many platforms. Third, single platform for colleges and universities for managing campus job placement, internship, training cell and career management center. Fourth, clear actionable insights to university on skills job mapping, and employment opportunities for further implementing skill development, educational policy and employment generation strategies. And many more benefits and features. Get future ready with Seagull. Act now, get in touch with our team.
My team well on behalf of his school, I a few webinar where one of our proud alumni, Priya Shroff, will be sharing her experiences, her industry experiences. Also, she will be sharing her journey to become a data scientist. So, Priya, I welcome you to this webinar. And before I hand over the session to her, let me give you a brief introduction about her. So, Priya Shroff has completed her B in computers, and recently 2021 and 22 batch. She has completed her PGP course in data science from Aegis School of Data Science, and she was placed, and she is working with that same company, Shadi.com. So that was a brief introduction about you, Priya. And now I request you to start with the session. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for my brief introduction. So as sir mentioned that I am working with Shari.com like since past 2 months as a data scientist. So I want to share my industry experience, like what working as a data scientist really means and what all tasks we can face in our day-to-day life. What are things we have to work on. So let me give you a small introduction, like a small brief of what I am working on currently. So as you all know, what Chat.com is, it's a matrimony site. So it offers various packages to its customers. It can be membership, like a paid membership. So we have different kinds of membership, starting from platinum, diamond, silver. So uh, a lead is generated. The We have a team, sales team who needs to contact the customers. So in order to do them, we have to give them potential buyers of the packages. So that is our task. Like we have to classify all the customers in the potential buyer. We have to categorize them who can purchase different packages, like who are capable to purchase diamond membership, platinum, and then gold, like that. So that is one of the tasks on which currently I'm working on. So in this, like what tools do we use and what all things do we use? So mainly here we use SQL as a database. So SQL, yes, we learned SQL is very broadly used in as working as a data scientist. Also, Python is very much necessary. And so the machine learning technique which I'm using is basically it's like classification. It's just basically a classification task that I'm working on. We have to classify all the customers into particular categories, and then we can move that forward. So that is one of the model that I'm working on. The other is on images. So we generally receive profile photos that are not accurate, or there are some filters in it, or some screenshots are uploaded, or some photos are uploaded that even don't have a face. So the second task is to filter out those images. So that is the second task which I'm working on, to filter out those images. So it's an image problem. The data set that I have are images. So how do we access the data? It's nothing, it's just from SQL. We have everything in the database. We can take our data set from there and we can modify it according to our need. uh, so any questions on that or anything?
I request participants to unmute yourself and put your video on, and you can ask the questions.
No issue. We'll move forward to the interview part. So I faced the interview. I was, when this interview process was starting, it was quite challenging. So many companies were coming continuously, and what do we need to prepare for the interview? It's like I'm here to give you some tips. For what I did is, like I started practicing first. We are taught so many things, but we cannot learn it until we practice it. So I started practicing first. uh, so Python is very much necessary. Like I gave so many interviews, and in each and every interview they did me ask me like some questions of Python, maybe coding. Some companies ask me to code. Some companies didn't, but everybody asked some questions of Python. So yeah, that is number one. Then machine learning, of course. So in some companies, only the theory part was asked. Like most of the company, they only ask theory questions of ML and a DL, like some theory questions. Nobody asked, like, not to me, nobody asked to do the practical, like to create a model. Yes, the first tech test, yes, I was asked to do the model creation and all, but in the main interview, we are not asked to, write, share our screen and write some machine learning code. But yes, so many questions are asked on that. The mostly question I faced was the basics. So you should know the basics, like, even very small details which we ignore generally. The interviewer asks those questions, and since we were supposed to know that details and we don't know, so even that degrades our confidence. So yes, basics are must. Second, SQL. So yes, SQL questions were asked, but the more weightage was given to Python and ML. And then SQL questions, like queries, simple queries, mostly we have the interviewer focused on joins and normalization, joins, and window functions. So window functions are important, yes. Then joins and normal query. Next is, so I was not asked any questions of Hadoop and Spark, but we never know. So, and Tableau. So Tableau questions were not asked in interview to me. They were asked in like technical test. Some people have given me the Tableau questions, MCQ test and like that. But in interview, I was not asked about the Tableau questions. So yeah, Python was like the basic screening. Like, if you don't know coding, then they assume you know nothing. So yeah, coding is must. And in Python also, not very tough questions were asked in coding. Small logic questions, but they're tricky. Not too big, just tricky, small questions were asked to me. Like I can give you some example, like string manipulation. How can you, like, playing with the strings than some list or query or anything like that. So yeah. So yeah, you can ask me, like, anything you want to know for the interview process or anything. I'll be happy to answer you.
Everyone, please, I know you have a lot of questions in your mind related to placement, so please come up here with your questions.
Okay, no questions. Okay, I get it. So yeah, I hope, like, so your interview have started, or are they going to start, like, which phase you guys are on? Companies are coming or they are yet to come?
Hello, Priya. Yeah, the companies are yet to come.
Yet to come.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So how many months, like, you have started the preparation for the interview?
Oh, yeah, not yet. I suppose, the crowd here is mixed, so not
Okay.
specific. Yeah.
Okay, right. So like, whenever you guys can start, I will suggest that you can start from now only. There are some topics that need more focus than the others. So Python is like, if you have little doubts in Python, whenever you are starting, So do ask the doubts, because you cannot move ahead with your doubts in Python. Like if in basics you have the doubt, then you won't be able to do the advanced course. It's same with ML and DL. So yeah. So in machine learning also, some questions I can say I was asked was, uh, in one interview I was asked that explain the entire architecture of CNN, like how a CNN model is made, like draw the diagram, particularly draw the diagram and explain how a CNN model is made. So I have to like open the paint and draw everything and explain to the interviewer that this is how the CNN model works, starting from the very basics. And then again, some questions I was asked was, how is a CNN model different from a normal ANN model, and why cannot we use this kind of model, and difference between different algorithms in machine learning. And mostly questions I was asked about the laws, and why this particular type of model to use, and graphs, like for categorical which graphs to use, for numerical which graphs to use. And so yeah, very basics, as I was telling. You should know, like if you're using a particular model, then why you are using this particular model, and if you're using this particular model, so like why you cannot use any other model instead of it. So you should know. Also, I would like to tell you, like if you're writing something in your resume, so please make sure that you know that. If you're not sure about it, then it is better to let it be, like do not write it in your resume. Simple. Also about your projects, so yeah, our capstone project was home workout with AI. So yeah, please do make sure that you know your project, because in almost every interview the interviewer ask about your project. Either they ask you to demonstrate, or nobody asked me, but yeah, some of my friends, the interviewer asked them to open your project and show them. Also your normal portfolio projects, they ask you, like uh, so I was working before, so I had some of my previous company projects as well. So I explained them most of the time. But yes, if you're a fresher, then you need some projects, because the interview needs 2 3 projects, like if you are not able to answer their question in one project, then they might switch to the next project. So that you should have some projects in your bucket, so you can choose from. And so they will also know, like you have worked on multiple projects. The projects can be simple, but you should thoroughly know, like what you have done, what algorithm you have used, why you have used the data. You should know everything about the data, like where you have collected from the data from, what is the type of data, what EDA you have done on that data, what problems you faced while you were working on your project. So yeah, these are the basic questions that I was asked. Furthermore, like yeah, so interview can be like of half an hour, it can be of 2 hours. So my interview, like even the shadi.com interview, it was like 2 hours long. So yeah, I was scared that what they are going to ask me for 2 hours straight. But yeah, so most of the times they ask you to explain your projects, then start from the project and then move to the basics, and then the coding. Yeah, and in the technical test, I may say, so in technical test, most of the test were MCQ. Yeah, most of the tests were MCQ, and some of them were coding rounds. Machine learning, not Python this time. Machine learning coding rounds. Like I remember one company, Fractal Analytics. Not Fractal Analytics, sorry. Yeah, I think Fractal Analytics. So what they did was they gave us some data set, and like some person was there on the other side. We had to share our screen and we had to code, like do the entire thing. 1 hour was given to create the model, and yeah, we have to submit that. So this kind of technical test also you can face. So yeah, I think those are all the tips that I have for the interview for you guys. Anything else you want to know about the interview process, or what needs to be done? Anything that I can answer those questions.
Hi, ma'am. Pratik here. Ma'am,
Hi.
as in your experience in Shadi.com, what work as a data scientist have you come across the most?
What works? So I currently am like working on models. So I have like worked. So it's basically I have worked on two models right now. To process to work. I'm working on two things. So one is a classification model that I'm building. So it's not like we can just go and build the models. It takes a long time. First, we have to analyze the data. So for that we use SQL. uh, so using SQL first, we analyze the data. So I think that takes most of the time, like analysis of the data and coming up with the plan that which model you have to make. I think that thing takes most of the time. So yeah, again, your question was which task I have come across with. So I'll again explain the task. It was like a classification model. So as you know that Shadi.com is a matrimony site, and they offer different packages, like their member can purchase different packages for better facilities. Like we have diamond membership, we have gold membership, we have platinum membership. So yeah, the thing is we have to provide, like as a data scientist, what I have to do is I have to provide the sales team with the correct customers for the diamond membership, potential members for the diamond membership. Why this is important? Because like diamond, suppose platinum is the uh, expensive one. Okay, so if the sales team goes and offers that person the gold membership instead of platinum membership, then that is a loss to the company, because that was a potential member to purchase a platinum membership. He could have purchased the platinum membership, but then he ended up purchasing the gold membership. So yes, that is a loss to the company. Also, it has been seen that if a person is capable of purchasing a gold membership, but then you go and offer them the platinum, the expensive one, so they are most likely not to purchase either of the plan. So yeah, there we come. As a data scientist, we have to give proper, we have to like create one model and give proper estimation, like this particular customer can purchase this particular plan. This has to be accurate. So yeah, so the sales team can contact the correct person, and it doesn't waste their time as well. So yeah, that is the one task that I'm working on. So for that, it's a classification problem, but yeah, then analysis, and there are server factors, features that we have to consider. So everything is done. There are so many tables there. We have to take so many tables into the account. Yeah, that is done through SQL. So I hope I was able to answer your question.
Hello, ma'am. Pratik this side.
Hi, Pratik.
Ma'am, my question is like, do they ask you some case, like, do they give you case studies to solve or like situation-based questions in interviews?
Yes, I was asked like situation-based question. Uh, like I remember one question, like once an interviewer asked me, like uh, suppose you okay, the question was that I have like one lakh data set. Okay, and I know that some of the labels in that particular data set are incorrect. Okay, I know previously that in that 1 lakh data set, some labels are incorrect. Okay, and those are incorrect. I know that. So, I cannot proceed with the model because I know the data I received is incorrect, right? So, like, that was a situation based question. Like, in that case, how will you proceed? What will be your approach? So, yeah. Yeah, we are asked situation based questions. yes, definitely we are asked, and they judge us, they definitely judge us, like, like given a situation how we are going to counter it. So yeah, but that is, I think, if you'll practice on algorithms, you'll know the basics. I think you'll be able to answer those questions. They are not tough, but they require the presence of mind. So if you know every algorithm, if you know every basic, so I think you'll be able to answer those questions.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, ma'am. Vrati here.
Hi, Vrati.
I wanted to ask if there are any particular types of projects we should be doing. Like, I am a fresher, so like, is it expected that uh, any particular type of projects we should be working on, in your opinion?
Since you mentioned that you are a fresher, I would recommend, see, the interviewer is not judging you based on your difficulty of project. They are judging you uh, on the basis of, like, whatever you have done, how much knowledge you have of it, and whether or not you have done it like completely. You should not copy it from any. They will know if you're copying it, so they will know that you have not done it by yourself. So yeah, I would recommend you, like, choose the level of your own difficulty, of your own knowledge, and do a project according to that. And you can by time increase the level of your difficulty, but yeah, start with easy projects. Like, first you can start with normal analytics project, then you can start with normal classification or regression projects, and yeah, then go to the tough projects, because if you just start from the tough project, I think you will get demotivated. So yeah, start from easy project, and interviewer, yeah, doesn't judge you with the level of difficulty. You should know everything, like, do some projects in which you have used some algorithms. Like, even if you're using regression, then show them that you have used this algorithms and why you have used this algorithms. Try different algorithms, and then compare the results and show them. This will give them an impression that you have tried so many things, and this will increase your knowledge as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, so I can again discuss of some project that I am working in Shadi. So one is of screenshots, like, when we receive some profile photos, as I mentioned that, so some profile photos are fake, like, they just put some images of children, or some gender issues, like, the name is, the gender is mentioned male, but then you put the image of a girl. So yeah, those are the image problems that we are working on. So yeah, yeah, that are some problem cases that we are working on currently. And this one more, the membership program which I talked about. So yeah, it's been 2 months. I have joined Shai.com as a data scientist, and yes, it has been a wonderful journey. So yeah, any other doubts?
Anyone, any other questions? Priya, I have a question. Like, we
Yes, ma'am.
focus on. Yeah, Pratik, go on, go on. You can ask.
Sorry, sir. Sir, ma'am, just the question means, what software tools does Shadi.com generally use the most? Like you just mentioned SQL, but apart from SQL, are there any software tools for model building or anything?
Yes. So, like, for model building, we generally use Jupyter Notebook, but it's like we do not do the work on our local machine, because our local machine RAM and everything is very low. So they have online servers which have, like, inbuilt GPUs and so much RAM and speed and everything. So yeah, we use online server like Jupyter Notebooks, which are on cloud. So that makes, like, model building and creation very easy. So generally we use those. For image also, we can use like on cloud, whatever is there, we can use them. And AWS is also used in Shadi. So yeah, we use AWS for some models, and some image models are also deployed on AWS there. So yeah, we use AWS as well. Along with that, for SQL we use Workbench. Yeah, we use PostgreSQL as well. Like MySQL and PostgreSQL are two types of SQL that are the database that are used there. Yeah, and for analytics, like we can use whatever we want. So
Ma'am, the continue question for what you said means, as a fresher, means I am a fresher currently. So is it necessary for me to be familiar with any of the cloud platforms?
no, it's not necessary for you to be familiar with any of the cloud platform, but it will be good, like if you get yourself introduced with some cloud platform, like don't be a master of it, but a small basic knowledge would be nice. Like nobody's like in interview you might not get get asked cloud based questions. I was never asked, but like when you will be working in a company, so like very pretty chances, like 90% chances that they will be using cloud. So that time you will face some problems. So yeah, you can introduce yourself with small knowledge of cloud, like anything, Azure, AWS, GCP, Google Cloud, anything, just the basics. Yeah, that will help you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other question, anyone? So Priya, I was asking about, evaluation matrix, right? So we focuses on it. So what matrix you use in Shadi.com? How do you evaluate whether your system is working better or not?
So yes, for that, for testing purpose, like you're asking about the evaluation, like confusion metrics, or like how do we evaluate, like how do we make sure that our model is working fine.
Yeah, how you evaluate? That's what I'm asking.
So yeah, so there are many metrics, like for different problems, like in machine learning, like classification problem can be solved with confusion metrics. Like we can do precision and recall, and based on that, like how do we testing is like in suppose I want to do like a profile function. I'll take example of how the profiles are, the profile photos I mentioned. Like some profile photos are screenshots, so their face is very small compared to the entire image as they are screenshots. So what if we want to see, like we want to do some POC on it or anything, so what we will see that after deploying our model, if we do it in so after deploying our model, how many, what percentage it's changing, like how many people are clicking on that profile photo to view it, or uh, how many customers visiting their profile after we changed the photo, like after we applied our algorithm, and how many people we are visiting before we changed our algorithm. So that is one way we can do the testing. Yeah, and
Okay,
for model testing, several metrics are there.
all right. And do you also use any deep learning algorithms for, for giving suggestion for matching?
So for now, like I have not used any deep learning algorithm. So classification was one task which I'm working for. Yes, the we have used AWS, for example, in the images which I was talking about. So far, like it's just 2 months that I have joined. So as of now, we have not used any deep learning algorithms, but yes, so many deep learning algorithms are being used, mostly in images. We use deep learning like CNN for image models, like filters and many of face recognition, which is done Yeah, face recognition is being done. So many deep learning are used, but I have not worked on any of the deep learning algorithms so far.
Okay, okay, all right. Any other question, anyone? Any question coming up from anyone?
Hello. Hi, ma'am. Pratik this side.
Hi,
Ma'am, I
Pratik.
want to ask, you said you are not using the NLP and deep learning models as of now, but
Yes.
as a fresher, are we expected to know about that, to have knowledge, like to what extent we should have knowledge about these algorithms?
Yeah, actually, since you will be appearing for the interview for the data scientist or data analytics, so you will, they will assume that you should have the knowledge about deep learning, NLP, like at least the basics. Like as I explained, like in one interview, I was asked the question, like I was asked to open Paint and draw the diagram, like like explain visually how a CNN model actually works from the very basic, like the working, the architecture of CNN, that comes under deep learning. So yeah, you are asked, you are they will assume that deep learning. NLP, yes, NLP basics you can know. If you have worked, see, if you have worked on any project which includes NLP, then you will be expected to know everything about NLP. So that's a case. I told like if you're including something in your resume, make sure you know everything about it. So but yeah, as if you're appearing for an interview as a data scientist, then you are expected to know NLP and deep learning. Even if you are a fresher, you are expected to know deep learning and NLP.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other question, anyone? Anyone, any other question? Should we conclude? Okay, fine, I guess. No questions from anyone now. Okay, so we'll conclude. Thank you, Priya, for your time. It's Sunday evening, and you have given your time for your juniors and for others as well. So thanks for coming and sharing your experiences. And uh, we wish you all the best for your future. Though you just have started, right? And you're working with your first company. We wish you all the best from I would say from on behalf of Aegis, I wish you all the best for your future, and to all your juniors also. I want you to be like Priya Shroff, get placed as soon as you complete your PGP course. So thank you all the participants once again, and thank you, Priya. We conclude the session.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.